Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back. We are halfway through a flock right now. After this, we are going to jump into a bunch of poems. I thought it would fill a lot faster. It took like 15 minutes to fill this. I was expecting to be like around 15 or so by the time we got going. I've had limited time today, so this is what we're doing. We are going to do this, finish this draft, and then get into the poems. So we have the team that we started with. We started 1-1-1-1. We have Jaden Daniels, we have CJ Stroud, and then Ashton Genty, Connor, Jalen Warren. Like that feels really good. By week 8, need to make sure I get somebody else who's going to start for by week 8 because it's the flock contest. And the flock contest, for those of you who do not know, it is a 1 of 12 advance. So you have to win your pod. Then we got Puka, Zay, Jaden, Burden, and then I pulled Keenan way up just to make sure I could get the two rookies to like where they're actually worth the picks. And I need to make sure to not lose any week by a bunch. And I think Keenan Allen, like I don't like that price, but I think this team needed it. And then we're done at tight end. So that's what we have going on right now. I would love DeMario here. Cedric Tillman's been falling like crazy. Like Eckler is probably the pick. Where did JCM go? I would have taken JCM if he made it back here, but he's been going way before that. He went at 145. That's actually pretty late for where he's been going. Yeah, we'll take DeMario first. I think he's more important to the team than Eckler. Like I can replace Eckler with Rashad White or Tyler Algier. There have been a bunch of injury reports coming in. Number one, Matt Stafford. Stafford practiced today. He wasn't like, apparently he didn't look like full go, but he practiced. Um, so that's at least positive news. Apparently, like Rashad White, Darnell Mooney got like semi positive reports of the teams think they'll be close for week 1. Sort of like I'll bring up the coach speak on Mooney specifically. Let's go to that real quick. On Darnell Mooney's shoulder status, quote, same spot, definitely getting better, definitely improving, definitely on the field, same spot. So I'm pleased where he's going, and we haven't had any setbacks or anything, so I'm fired up. And apparently, like, what's his name? Michael Penix has been, like, he believes he's going to start week 1, but even if Mooney misses, like, 2 games, he's going all the way down at, like, 120 now, and to me, that like if he only misses 2 games, he's an absolute smash of a pick. Hey, what's up, Quill? Also, Quentin Johnston's been falling all the way to the very end of drafts after that massive concussion that he got. Like, no idea. Like, I'm sure he won't play next week, but it's a like, it's a concussion. There's a solid chance he's available to play week 1, right? Like, and there was a solid chance he wasn't going to play next week anyway. Um, but it was an awful hit. Like he didn't even have the ball. He wasn't really close to the ball whenever he got hit. Uh, yeah, but I mean, you just have to see the play yourself, take your own opinions on it. But I thought it was a pretty awful play. Like I'm pretty lenient generally when it comes to like the late hits and like the quarterback slide, I believe, should be removed from the game because it only creates more helmet-to-helmet hits in the quarterback because everyone waits till the last second to slide, which creates them getting popped. That, to me, is the quarterback's fault for waiting. So, like, because the defender has to try to tackle if he's not going to slide. And he waits till the last second. The defender's already started in. Like, what are you supposed to do? I'm probably in the minority there, but that's how I feel about it. But yeah, see, like Quentin Johnston, still available at this point in the draft, and he's probably a pretty good pick at this point. I'm going to grab Torrey Horton here and wrap around for Sam Darnold if he comes back around. I don't need a third quarterback with these two, but I'll take one. Not only does Sam Darnold give me another stack, but he also makes sure that a weaker running or quarterback room from another team doesn't have as strong as a team. So, and you have to get first. And if the difference on a team like the Cam Ward Tua team over here, not adding Sam Darnold, like if another person takes Aaron Rodgers and that person gets boxed out, it massively helps my chances for because adding Darnold to Tua Cam Ward could spike pretty well, right? In between each other and oscillate the weeks. So I think that playing defense a little bit in the flock contest makes some sense. And for those of you who are just joining, this is a flock. I was halfway through it. It took a while to fill. We will definitely be doing Poms. We'll be smashing them as soon as this is over. But the team right now, at 3-4-7-2, we got Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold. Let me refresh the overlay. See if I can. There we go. Colors. I like colors. Ashton Jeanty, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Austin Eckler. Wide receivers, Puka, Zay, Higgins, Burton. I pulled Keenan way up because I wanted to make sure to get one of him or Douglas, but ended up getting Douglas after as well. And then Torrey Horton, then tight ends, George Kittle and Dalton Kincaid. I'm fine with just those two tight ends. I could add a third, but I feel pretty good about this. What's up, Anthony? Thank you for stowing in. Is it? I think it's his blue shirt. Like every time I wear the blue shirt, I feel like it pops better, I guess. I don't know why it's looking different, but I do agree. And if you're popping in, please smash a like for me. We will be queuing up very shortly. Yeah, so I definitely need another RB. I've moved Ollie Gordon way up in the ranks. I was hoping Quentin Johnston made it all the way back because I've seen him in the last round a couple times. And I've been absolutely smashing Ollie Gordon. The Miles Sanders, I do need to move him down. I need to move Marshawn Lloyd down even more. I think I want Taj Brooks on this team for bye week issues. I don't know. Do I want to go? I think I want just two RBs here. I don't take any Blake Corum, but I do think he's a solid pick. I could take Giddens here. I mean, the Jalen Knoll double stack kind of feels like the right answer, though. I have too many. We're gonna do the bring back. We went ahead and went with the Sam Darnold, Torrey Horton thing. So we'll just tack on the bring back there. I think I like that. It's another player I believe is going to start early in the season. And I do have a lot of rookie power here. And I only had one wide receiver through 5. Or through 4. So the team, we have Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold. Running backs, Jeanty, Connor, Jalen, Eckler, Taj. That feels pretty solid. As long as I can get some production through week 8 or on week 8 with those 3 people. I feel pretty good about this. And then wide receivers: Puka, Zay, Higgins, Burton, Allen, Demario, Horton, and Coker. Tight ends: Kittle and Kincaid. One of my home leagues is making us do slow drafts to accommodate one person overseas, so I'm using my full clock every time and announce that I'm doing so. Very nice. I I was invited to a league that I ended up deciding to leave because I was under the impression when I joined it was going to be a redraft league, and then as soon as I got to the league, they started taking votes to try to make it a keeper league, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with a keeper league. Keeper leagues are like, to me, it's the worst form of fantasy football. So I did not continue into that league. I was like, yeah, we're not doing keeper league. Like if I join a league, I joined that league. Like I guess it wasn't expressly said that it was going to be up for vote, but it felt like it was going to be a regular league. So anyway, we're going to join a Pomeranian, and we're going to join it in 10 seconds. I believe my location stuff's working right now, so hopefully I don't rug pull anybody. I will go ahead and bring it up on my phone just in case. Here we go. There we go. Waiting. So hopefully, if anybody wanted to get in, they got in. We got Losimo at the 11. We have Aaron Sandy at the 10. We got the 5. I don't recognize anybody else. If you're in here, let me know. And I'm doing great. How are we doing? No Cap Mac. Like I'm pretty excited for the game tonight. Like we're going to get to see the Bengals versus Commanders, all first stringers, basically, minus like Terry, right? And who do you want, Simo? Are we out there? Are you wanting to snipe him, or are you wanting to pass somebody? So the entire beginning of the season, I've liked 9 through 12 draft spots, mostly the 12. But with all the wide receiver injuries that's happened from like pick 81, like pick 64 to 81, I think that there's a huge tier break at like pick 77. Like somewhere right in here, 78 to 75. There's just a giant tier break. So I'm starting to like the middle of the board a little more with current information. I'd love to get a CD Lamb share. Too many people have CD Lamb rated number 2 overall for me to get much of them. And Justin Jefferson practiced today. Not sure how intense of a practice he had, but he was there. We can all stop worrying. Everybody, we can all stop worrying. It's fine. Everything will be fine. It's just him and old Jalen Naylor the first few weeks. I'm doing all right, man. Long day at work. Looking forward to getting off in 45 minutes and ripping some drafts. Yes, I may actually not stream on Thursday night this week. I'm not sure. And if I do, it'll probably be like a little, like maybe 15 minutes late. I'll probably do it, but do it like 15 minutes late. I haven't had access to overtime this entire year, and I like to use the overtime money to pay for more best ball. And we're actually offering it right now. So I might have to go in a day I normally stream so I can waste more money here. I think you all understand. I think it would be accepted in the best ball community to work a little more, to gamble even more, right? we have a pretty common and normal round one. I've been the Derrick Henry stuff, like the more you think about it, like the week 15 bring back stuff, like for BBM specifically, feels very strong. I've not been taking these two as often lately. I don't. I've started to like the running backs in the third a lot less because you used to be able to get like Chase Brown there. Hampton was free there. Um, I think Jonathan Taylor is tiers above like Kyron Williams, who's usually the only one left here. Um, like if it comes back here and Hampton's available, because you used to be able to get Josh Jacobs to fall back every once in a while, but if Hampton's available here, I would have wished I took McConkey. Like Chase Brown, that's a late Chase Brown for now. Would you rather stack with Malik, Genty, or Bowers? Um, I I think Bowers. I'm not fading Jacobs, but I'm not overweight. I'm definitely low on him. I'm not like full fading it. I so it feels like so like I would rather have the Genty stack because it's going to be more rare. But like they're both pretty easy to get now. The Achan news, where did Achan go? The 12 hole is not worried about Achan's soft tissue thing. Um, but like Achan's kind of moved down to like where Derrick Henry is now on a lot in a lot of drafts. But I think I just take the earlier ADP. Yeah, and the neighbor's injury stuff is pretty suspicious. Like I'm thinking I've actually pulled Amon Ra up above neighbors, and you all know how I've kind of been down on Amon Ra all season. Like I've got enough Brian Thomas at this point. I've got 14% Brian Thomas. I've got like 9% neighbors, but I've only got 4% Brown. So like if it comes down to it, I'll take BTJ like half the time over both of them, but like I'll just take Amon Ra a little more. Like the neighbor stuff feels sketchy, as Peppertoni alludes. It just something just doesn't feel right about it. Like he's just not practicing forever. Like with Puka, it's his quarterback that's not practicing. He personally is healthy. And he has a former starting quarterback in the NFL as a backup. Like, do I like the only reason I'm not scooping the value as often as I am is because I already had a whole bunch of him. So, I mean, I love this. Either one of these two picks feels awesome. Terry or Tet. Um, we'll take Tet. There's a bet like I don't expect Terry to fall back around, but I've seen it. I've not seen Tet fall all the way back around for a while. Now, I do just want Zay Flowers in the next round, but if Terry made it all the way back around, I mean, I would just do that. We got so are you full fade on Jacobs, Sandy? Or are you just like a half fade? Like, I know. Yeah, I'm right above 5% or almost at 5%. And Kenneth Walker is back at practice as well. So I went from being at 2% Zay Flowers to being overweight Zay Flowers. Um, and he's a different, to me, he's just a different bet in the 5th round. 4%. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I like the pieces around there so much better. Like McBride feels like a better pick. Chase Brown feels like a better pick. JSN over here. I hadn't realized what he's doing. He's getting unique with JSN McConkey. That's pretty smart, really. T. Higgins to me is absolutely a better pick than Jacobs, but like Lamar to me is a better pick than Josh Jacobs. Like I've not really been on Tyreek for a while now. Like the entire Dolphin stuff feels very icky to me. Well, yeah, so there's that, but like Zay's also like I got Zay in the 7th in that flock contest. Right? Like what why is he in the 7th? Like that doesn't make any sense. I mean it was at pick 62, but that's still the 7th round. Or I guess it's the 6th. My bad. The 6th. I got him at 62. Like that doesn't make sense. Like he shouldn't be going behind Ricky Pearsall, Igbuka, you know. Like I see an argument with Travis Hunter, Ridley, all the like I have most of those players ahead of Zay Flowers if I don't have Lamar. And like Mark Andrews to me has felt like one of the most mispriced things on the board for a while. Absolutely want Isaiah Pacheco here. I've been trying to get more and more of him. Everybody seems to be a little wiser on it. The goal is to push Addison back to 77. It happens about 20 to 30% of the time. Like I was a hater, but like I'm usually a hater on players based on price. Just like Debo Samuel, like his price has stayed the same, but I've actually just came around to if I'm going to beat in on Jaden, I just need to make sure I'm not completely out on Debo because if Jaden smashes and I just refuse to take Debo because I refuse to take Debo because I think he's dust, like that's on me. Like I should at least, if you're in on a quarterback being a smash, like you need to at least take a couple shares of the guys, right? Like around him or on his team. So we get Addison back. That feels awesome. Past week 3, we are cooking. We have Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Isaiah Pacheco, Jefferson, Tet, Flowers, Addison. Feels like a really strong team right now. I really like the way that this looks. Very balanced, have an elite. Just probably going to push tight end for a while. Like there are a couple tight ends I'm willing to take at 92 if the board tends to get pretty awful now. Around 92 to 100. So like I do kind of just take tight ends there pretty often if I've already got an elite quarterback. He's slated for volume spike that people ignore. Yeah, like the touchdown stuff, like him and Bateman could easily flop the touchdowns, right? But the fact that Bateman's been falling at the same time also doesn't make sense. Like Likely gets hurt, Andrews moves up, Zay Flowers moves down, and Bateman also moves down, but Lamar moves up in price. Like now that's a stand. That's a stand. I like it. I try not to have that big of a stand on players. It's something I learned last year by having 2 stands in the same round, which actually ended up being 45%. It was Jalen Warren and Jonathan Brooks, like in the 9th. And in the 8th, I took stands on Jaden and Bowers. Like, but in the 9th, like having a 20 to 25% exposure on those players, like I basically had zero of all the players around him. So, like, it's not that I respect the stand, but like I'm assuming you're pulling them up to the 4th sometime to get some exposure to the other guys. But that whole area has been moving so much that it probably doesn't really matter. All right, so Andrews is all the way down there. I think I don't want him. I don't really want. I think I just take Andrews, call it good. Like this is such a clean. Like I feel like the Andrews Zay Lamar double stack could feed families this year. There are plenty of Packers to take later. It was Marshawn Lloyd, but apparently he's hurt again already. I'm not sure how bad. I took him for 3 days heavily whenever he was back at practice, and then he looked decent at the game, and then he gets hurt. So that is that. Can't do anything about it. You just got to deal with it. Yeah, and if Tyler Warren makes it to me, I'll just take both of them and be done. Yeah, let's just be done at tight end. Mark Andrews, Tyler Warren. I'm not going to hide it. My next pick is hopefully J.J. McCarthy. Let's look at the board, though. This drafter has Kyler stacked with Harrison and McBride. He has Brock Purdy naked. Wonder what that plan is. Seeing that means that I probably will just take J.J. McCarthy there and not risk it. You got Jalen Hurts here. Like, the 2-hole drafters drafting pretty normal. So is the 1-hole drafter. He got the Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow at 72. Whenever I get the Joe Burrow down here, I generally make sure I take him at 72, not 7. Or I usually try to take him at 73, not a 72, just to assist the ADP a little bit. Just to, like, hopefully inch it down a little further. I believe it's okay to have huge stands as long as you are layering your bets, mixing up your combos. Yes, and I get that. But, like, if you think he's extremely mispriced, taking him in the 4th every once in a while will get you more unique combos, right? Like, because like Calvin Ridley, like it's going to be hard to have a lot of Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley, or Zay Flowers with Jalen Waddle, right? So unless you're just doing it right here and like maybe there, but like you have to pull one of them up into the 4th to do that. Like, and maybe that's what ends up winning. Like if you're going to have a big stand on somebody, like pulling them up like that makes sense. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And he's moved down quite a bit. So I fully understand that. I mean, Scadaboo or JJ? Dak Prescott's still here. Bateman, like I don't want to triple stack Lamar. We're just gonna make sure we get that. Like that's the thing that could ruin this team the most is not getting McCarthy. I am way more powerful at tight end than usually. He has went in the 10th, and a couple of my, Justin Herzig posted that he went at 64 earlier. People hate Brian Robinson is the thing. Like nobody likes Brian Robinson Jr. Like I don't understand it, but nobody likes him. It's kind of like Jalen Wright. Like very few people like Jalen Wright. So people, and I'm one of those. Like people are looking for a reason to not draft Jalen Wright. and Ollie Gordon is that reason to me. Um, like the same thing with JCM. People hate him. Like people hated Rashad White last year, but they used that as a reason to take Bucky, regardless of Bucky's talent. Like if there were definitely people who loved Bucky as a talent, but there was also a lot of people who just disliked Rashad White, right? Here, I think Keenan Allen makes some sense. Judkins also makes some sense, but I think Keenan is kind of a tier break at wide receiver and having to deal with that suspension. I think Keenan is the clear pick here. That I like a lot of the RBs that are available at 140 to 149. Like we're going to see JCM's ADP is going to be like round 10 here very soon. Maybe. I don't know. Like the guy who's caught 3 contested, I think they said it was 2 contested catches, but I'm pretty positive all 3 routes that he's caught touchdowns on. I guess it was just 2. Yeah, it was. But basically, he only catches contested catches right now, which could mean separation issues. But like I said on BBG's channel on his 12-hour live stream, like it doesn't matter if they're contested catches if you're making all of them. Like does that make T. Higgins worse that he catches all the contested catches? No, not really. It just makes him very good in the red zone. And this is a half PPR website, so deal with it, right? Yeah, he looks like a wild man while he's out there to me. I haven't really broke down his routes yet, but he looks like he's trying to figure out exactly what he want, like how he wants to run the routes, right? Like I feel like I have to take an RB here. We'll take Jaden Blue. Just a little upside swing. I don't love it. I feel so. We only have 12 votes in the poll. Dallas is winning the poll for where B Rob will end up. My personal, like, I would personally love if he ended up on the Bears. Like, I'm underweight all the Bears RBs, I believe. Yeah, Swift 3.8%, Roshan 4.9%, Kyle Monungai 0.2%. So like the Bears to me are the answer that helps my portfolio the most. And I like B Rob. Like I'm still taking B Rob a little bit because he's been like I've seen him in the mid 100s. I don't know where he went here. He went to 87. But I've seen him fall to like 104, 105. I'm absolutely going to take him every time he gets there. Like that's not even a question. So do we take the upside here in Kyle Williams or do we take Demario Douglas? I think we're just going to let it randomize a little bit. We got Demario Douglas. Got it. Yeah, so that opens up for the pick that Pepper Tony was talking about. Demario does look really good this year. And I do need to kind of balance out all of my digs just in case I'm wrong. Yeah, and I know Big Draft Energy has been on him the entire time. Like saying that he's going to outproduce Steph Diggs. I don't buy that, but That's what everybody's saying. Um, and I'm local. Yeah. And I've been underweight on DeMario, but I don't dislike him. Like I want pieces of that offense. I really like that offense this year. Yeah, yeah, he's a better play on under or full point for sure. I have a little bit of old booty. I got a little booty. Apparently, I don't have a little booty. I thought I took a lot of booty in the big board. Let me look it up on my other screen real quick because I was maybe that's why I've not taken much of them because I took a little bit. Yeah, I had 4% in the big board. That's where I was taking them. Yeah, I've started slowing down on Diggs, mostly because all the people around him have been getting very positive reports. Like because I've been big on Golden, right? What's up, Bink? Dude, I would love to get Eckler. I meant to take him with the last pick. That's a clear pick right now to me. Uh, like the real winner if B Rob gets traded to me isn't JCM. The real winner is Austin Eckler. Like Eckler to me is going to end up just being the RB1 if that happens. Now JCM might be the play for the late season and dominate there, but to advance you through, like Eckler feels very very good right now. And after the JCM news, I get him after ADP by 7 picks. Like that just feels like an instant click no matter what. Uh, in my mind, I'd already selected him here, but I didn't expect Douglas and Kyle Williams to make it back around. All right, so we are done at tight end. We're done there too. So we just need these two positions. And well, I mean, which one of these do I want? You know, I'm not going to respect ADP here. We're just going to go ahead and make sure we get that. Um, there's a ton of RBs I like. So I know I want Tesla as my seventh receiver on this team. If I want to go 8, I can go 8. But the bring back of the double stack here to me was pretty important to this team. And I've seen people pulling up Tesla to like the mid 180s. So if I want to make sure I get the only possible bring back I still have for the game, and like ADP doesn't matter near as much down here, right? So I just went ahead and pulled the trigger. We'll see if it happens. I just got home, passed out, 15K worth of backpacks and school supplies. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's fantastic. Like did you like do you run a foundation or what? Uh because that's super neat. My mom worked for the schools for years, so she like and she told some stories about people not being able to get stuff, and it's sad. So like anything like that is fantastic. Yeah, I've seen you have him on almost every team, almost every team. Yeah, yeah. My mom worked. She was an aide. She worked with the highly autistic kid for like 9 years. Like it was the only person that could deal with him, basically. So like who do I want here? I'm completely out on Jalen Wright. I need to start taking more Taj. I think. Yeah, we're gonna take Taj. And Ollie is probably free here. I think this is just going to end up being a 2-6-8-2. It's not a foundation, but I know people who run huge ones here in Houston. Nice. I did not. I ended up taking a nap. I slept like 3.5 hours. Like it was a hell of a nap. After Karain got off and it was Leone, I started to doze off a little bit. Not that I dislike Leone. I'm definitely going to go back and watch it. I just was tired and slept for 3 hours. Anything I can do to help out the less fortunate kids, I'm all about. Yeah, like there's nothing that feels better, like to your soul, than doing something for somebody who doesn't have means to help themselves, right? All right, so we got 3 bye-week 10s here. That feels rough. Um, hopefully I don't die week 10. I don't know. Do you think I need another wide receiver? I think I got a free pick here. Like Andrews, Tyler Warren feels fantastic. Lamar, JJ feels awesome. Jonathan Taylor, Pacheco, Jaden Blue, Eckler, like that feels pretty solid. I might just go 7. We got Jefferson, Tet, Flowers, Addison, Keenan, Demario, Tesla. Like that feels really strong too. I think I just go 7 RBs here. Honestly, like because in my opinion, I'm getting Addison at a two round discount, you know? Okay. It's Justin Jefferson, Tet McMillan, Zay Flowers, Addison. We got the double stack. We got the double stack of Zay Flowers with Mark Andrews. And then we got Keenan and Demario to give us guaranteed points throughout the season. And then Tesla for the big swing at the end. So to me, that's like a 2-round value on him based on what I believe. And Tesla is a huge swing. Like if anybody gets hurt in that offense, like Tesla will probably replace it. And I don't feel like I need either position, honestly. So let's just look at both. It's not Roshan. It might be a Savion team for the bring back. My RBs are Taylor Pacheco, Jaden Blue, Eckler, Taj Brooks, Ollie Gordon. So I could either go for the home run swing with the bring back on that game, or go with like Justice Hill, maybe. I think I like Savion here. Kavonte Turpin actually is fantastic. Yeah, Dart went in like he went early. He went at 184. Joe Flacco named the starter today. That's also news. Yeah, I have Lamar. Yeah. So Savion's a bring back, and honestly, he's my favorite bring back to Lamar. It's probably like it's Golden is the favorite, but like I would rather have Savion than Jaden Reed or Romeo Dobbs. Did T Mac get hurt? Let's look. Minor hamstring issue. That feels fun. That feels fine. All right, so the final team, we got a 2-6-8-2. Lamar Jackson, J.J. McCarthy. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Isaiah Pacheco, Jaden Blue, Austin Eckler, Taj Brooks, Ollie Gordon. Wide receivers, Jefferson, Tet McMillan, Zay Flowers, Addison, Keenan Allen, Demario, Isaac Tesla, Savion Williams, and tight ends, Andrews and Warren. Isn't it 2 years now we've seen Bateman be the TD guy? Yeah, the RBs aren't great. But I like those two. No, I agree. Like I'm basically trying. Like I don't love Jaden Blue. The goal was to Ray Davis and Braylon Allen. I wanted one of those two, and I think the team looks way better if I get Ray Davis or Braylon Allen. Yeah, you take a lot of RBs early. This is more like closer to a zero RB, right? Like I just like to make sure I get 2 RBs by round 7. And I generally go 2 RBs and 4 wide receivers and without the elite, but I like the elites as well. Oh, sharp. Okay, you like 4 or 5 by then. Yeah, it's not my normal team. The Keenan plus DeMario feels a little weird. I don't think it's bad, but it does feel weird. But anyway, we are on to the next draft. Another Palm. We're entering in 10 seconds. I like to mix up my builds and do different things. Honestly, like that's just where I'm at with it. Like we are waiting on 6. Like I can bring up my best ball overlay and look at. We're waiting on 2. Well, right, and you said that if this player isn't this, you're not drafting him, right? Yeah. I remember that. And I'm assuming you're not 25% Scadaboo and 23% Jarquez Hunter. But we all have our players we like too much. All right. Don't blink at the 101. Sandy at the 102. Doctor the Professor at the 3. King of Kings. Is that a different king? Is there always been a number there? Quill at the 7. I got the 8. Loots at the 12. If you're just popping in and you can please smash the like. We're definitely lacking on the likes today. We got 19 watch. We got 9 likes. I'm usually 20ish likes by now, easy. Not that I get any money or anything for it. It just makes me feel good, guys. It gets me in the feels. 29% James Cook. So big board, I was like, James Cook is a steal. Like I kind of like him more than Breece Hall. And then I just kept talking myself into more Breece Hall over and over again. I'm like, I'm kind of sad at myself for doing that. And it had nothing to do with the contract stuff. It had everything to do with the 48% and all of that stuff, right? Who wants to feel good? Hit the like. I've moved Nico up to the 108. With everyone else, with all like, and I talked about this before, but with everybody else having issues, and Joe Mixon having issues, like they're gonna have no choice but to just throw the ball all the time. I've also moved Jaden Higgins up for that same reason. Like And like I like Puka more than him, but it is a difference if Stafford's not in there, right? Like we all know that. Yeah, like, and I understand like if you go RB heavy to make sure you get RB to the flex, right? Like that makes some sense. We'll do a little week 17 here. We'll go ahead and do that. That feels fine. I haven't been doing that as much. It feels a lot worse now that all the RBs are pushed up. There's 100% going to be an RB I like here at 56. Like I'm fine pulling James Conner or Kamara or RJ Harvey to 56. I think from like, and Chuba's there quite often. I do prefer Chuba to those. My thing is James Cook improved his running abilities as a player, avoiding unnecessary contact at the ends of runs, and being lower to the ground and had more burst. I mean, if James Cook got 65% of the work, like he's going to absolutely just destroy fantasy. Like that's like a near fact. Yeah, no, he's a great pick. Um, my problem is I like with him specifically is I've really liked all the wide receivers in that range. Like I love Tet McMillan, I love Xavier Worthy, I like Terry McLaurin a lot. I know people are scared of Terry, but I did not like Terry in the middle of the third, but getting Terry in the mid 40s feels awesome. And like Ray Davis weirdly didn't look like he didn't look as good as I expected him to in the preseason games. Like I kind of was in on Ray Davis being an awesome pick because I felt like that because they split and all the reasons he's saying about the being tied to the awesome offense and all that, right? Uh, we'll take a Garrett Wilson chair. Oh, so you're taking both of them. So when you so you're forcing the handcuff there. But to me that's not even a handcuff situation because both of them are going to spike, right? Like they're both going to get uh they're both going to get a bunch of carries and they're both going to spike and oscillate weak. So they could easily ping pong and it's hard to love any of the wide receivers there. So I mean that makes sense. Exactly. Ray Davis in that offense usage. Right. But yeah, Ray Davis didn't look as good in the preseason games that as I remember him looking last year. Maybe it's because their um, offensive line wasn't starting all their starters. I haven't made seen if that. I'm assuming that their offensive line's like second string, and that does affect things. Um, uh, we'll do the bring back for Garrett Wilson there over Brees Hall. So the team right now through 4 rounds: Nico Collins, Lad McConkey, and then Garrett Wilson, Travion Henderson. I don't like Travion Henderson at that spot. Just so we're all clear, I don't think that's a good price for him. But there's no chance I get him back at 56. And I have 14% Brees Hall right now, and those bags are scary. I do still like Brees Hall. I still think he's fine. He's a fine pick in the 4th round. I am regretting a few of my third round picks on Brees Hall. A lot of my teams have Ray Davis, RB5, and Keith Mitchell. Okay, got it. Travion prices are gone now. Everyone, well, no, that the touchdown he had between the tackles this week was very, very nice. It was a very nice run. Um, I mean that to me was way more impressive than that kickoff return. I'm not saying that other people aren't reacting to that, but for me, that run through the tackles where he carried the guy, like bounced off the guy, and then kind of ran through with his legs into the end zone, like that to me was the play. Yeah, and this is another thing. The Pats' offensive line has looked much improved. So now that that is confirmed, like it feels confirmed. Like I like him in the fourth, but I still do prefer Brees Hall. I just didn't want to double stack the Jets. I want one of these RBs. I think I want Chuba here. Yeah, we're gonna go with Chuba. Actually, well, we were gonna go with Chuba, but we had double by week 14, so we'll split that up a little bit. Travion and RJ Harvey. Pat's line couldn't have been worse. Yeah, no, they pretty much could not have been. Any Bears overreactions? Not for me. The Bears overreaction will be whenever Brian Robinson gets traded there. Like, like that to me feels like a semi-likely thing. So there's a massive tier break at wide receiver whenever it comes back to 80. So I definitely want to get another RB here. And there's a couple RBs I don't mind at 80 as RB3. So we'll go with Matthew Golden here. So the team through 6, we have Travion, RJ Harvey, and then wide receivers Nico, Ladd, Garrett, and Matthew Golden. All of these quarterbacks are later in the draft. If I could get 2 of those 3, that would feel awesome. Like I don't even mind stacking Drake May with Travion. I've not been able to get as much Drake May as I used to get. So I would really like to make sure I stay above 20% on Drake May. Pacheco finally going where he deserves, ahead of DeAndre Swift. This entire offseason, I've been saying that those 2 players need to go ahead of DeAndre Swift. Aaron Sandy's listening. Doctor the professor's listening. Now, I could be wrong, but to me, the Pollard the offensive line there is fantastic, and Pacheco actually looks back. So, and like I have taken some Swift ahead of those 2, but that's just so I don't have 0. That's not true. Just because they were last doesn't mean they go up. I mean, the reason they can't go down is because they've invested in it, right? Hey, what's up, Steve? Thanks for popping in. We're just going to smash some Poms here. I'll definitely be doing another draft. I was halfway through a flock whenever I started the stream, so Tony Pollard is our guy. Well, so I'm still in a little bit on Tajay Spears. Like, it feels a lot like last year, but I still don't dislike my 120 Tajay Spears bags. Like, if he misses 3-4, I never really drafted Spears to be a starter the first few weeks, you know? I will absolutely scoop that up. This is the perfect RB room for David Montgomery. That is fantastic. A little bit of a fall, the uh, perfect guy to get me to where those two are both the guys. Because I could see Gibbs absolutely being him, but not week one. I think that if they're going to phase the offense more towards Gibbs, that we're going to see that as a progression through the season. Now, that's my guess as well. The line is where it starts. So, yeah, bringing in the personnel and how they did, looked it up. And I actually really like the tackle they got in the draft. So, TS. Who is TS? Are we talking about Tyrell Shavers? Bill's superstar, Tyrell Shavers? All right, so what do we want to do here? Do we want to – I mean, I think Jaylen Warren here makes a lot of sense too, right? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I feel really good about those 4 receivers. Like, I don't mind stopping with 4 solid receivers like that, and then just going 8 and like pushing all of my receivers to like past round 13, like 12 or later, and then kind of locking up tight end and quarterback in this area. Oh, Tajay Spears. I'm just in on their offensive line being awesome this year. Once New England gets more prolific wide receivers, that running game gets more respect. It will open up everything for May next year. I'm surprised we haven't heard rumors of like the Commanders trading Terry McLaurin there, like because we've heard rumors of Terry McLaurin for Tyreek Hill plus a pick thing. Like if they're wanting to trade, like I guess they would want a receiver back, but like I'm just surprised that that's not something that has been leaked at all. Like that New England's asked about Terry or something. Because if I was New England, I know Steve doesn't want to hear that, but if I was New England, I would definitely be like, hey, we're obviously not allowed to sign any wide receivers. So you think we could trade for yours? We will smash Justin Fields here. We got the bring back. We got the elite receiver. Not going to end up getting probably not take Drake May. I don't know. I'll queue him, but I don't. I kind of just want to wait. Like, we'll see what's here at 113. But I feel like I'm just going to take whatever quarterback's left at 128 in this draft. Like, if it happens to be that I can get Herbert there, because you can half the time, that's great. If I can't, maybe Jordan Love's there. If Jordan Love's not there, also, Stroud should probably be there still. Yeah, so Drake May does go to Lutz. However, you could also argue the Pats wide receivers fit their scheme. Yeah, no, I think they do. And one of the reasons I was kind of out on DeMario a little bit early in the season is because I kind of thought that Steph Diggs would end up playing in the I think we're just gonna we'll take Loveland. I thought Steph Diggs may take some slot snaps from him. And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So if DJ Quill, you better not. You better. I see what you're setting up. I see what you're setting up. You better not do that. How dare you? How dare it even cross your mind? I thought you were friendly. Um, Gamble sign false. Any teams line could stay worse or get worse, but it's not about them going down. It's about them progressing as a whole. And like coaching matters a ton with the offensive line because you have to like it's about coaching and the offensive lineman like having faith that the linemen next to them are going to have their back in certain situations, right? So like the chemistry of offensive line matters a ton. So the fact that we're already seeing their offensive line work well together, even though it's just preseason. Uh, oh, oh, you know what you're about to do. If the personnel stayed relatively the same, they were improving. Yeah, they're the narrative isn't because they stunk last year. It's yeah, no. I mean, I do agree with that, but I mean, the Dolphins stunk last year, and they don't look like they're getting any better. gotta love this. I'm gonna say you're wrong, but only because you said I was wrong, and no one is really wrong. It's all an opinion. That's some good stuff right there. Friendly banter. So it looks like I'm going to end up with one of the quarterbacks I wanted, but not the one I wanted the most. Quill's about to take Jordan Love, and they should take Jordan Love. Like it's a smart play. I seen it. I seen it from a mile away. As soon as I seen you take Tucker Craft, I was like, "Yep, that's not coming back." Hey, I'm not upset about it. Uh, I'm just kind of like playfully trolling a little bit. I hope you don't charge for that info. We got a friendly debate in the chat. If you're listening, you can go over there. Thoughts on Penix? I think ranked a tad low. That I think he's ranked about right. It's just so from basically from Kyler all the way to Penix, you can just argue for anybody. Like like you could argue anything in those ranges to me. Like in my opinion, you could argue all of that in any way you want. Um, do I want Goddard? I've started taking some more Hollywood Brown again, so we'll do that here. I know it's way before ADP, but it does look like he's going to be healthy reasonably soon. I mean, maybe I don't need him the first few weeks either, but he should definitely be healthy by the time that Rice is serving his suspension, assuming they don't get a plea deal before the season. And I could see him kind of slotting in and having a big role once he gets back because of Rice not being there. And if the Rice suspension is as long as some people believe it could be, um, Hollywood Brown's a really good pick right now. If you believe the Chiefs' offense is going to be moving. And I, as a Chiefs fan, believe that their offense will be moving. Absolutely hopium, but that is what it is. All this, that's what you get for arguing, Gamblestein. You can only blame yourself. Like kind of like on Pete's stream today where he was going through this awesome bit and then autoed Rashid Rice, who he's been fading the whole season. It's pretty easy to get Gamble worked up. It's good. Gamble and I talk quite a bit on Discord, and we've had some heated debates. They're never hateful. It's just heated debates. This feels like a pretty good spot for him. Most of the people on the other side of me have 2 tight ends, so I think I'll take Kyle Williams, and I will get a RB next. That was the one you were in. Okay, I didn't notice that you were in that draft. I was doing my own draft at that time because I normally keep it on. Like I'll chat here and there, but most of the time I'm in a draft while I'm listening to. I mean, that's how we all are, right? We're drafting our own teams and in a chat. Lutomsky has me on the Titans mega stack now. I mean, the Titan mega stack is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, never. To be honest, Pats are my team I'm taking to be most improved. What's up, Felix? Make sure that's fine. Yeah, we'll fit him in. Yeah, as Felix says, drafted away currently. Like he popped away from his addictive habits, like we all have, and drafting teams while listening to people drafting teams, while other people are drafting teams, arguing in chat about drafting those teams. Like I just think that like it's very easy to not notice when other people are in a, and Pete doesn't know the 900 people in his chat and what all of their avatars are, you know. So he gets a pass, right? Most of the time I'm in chat, I'm not paying attention to the draft y'all are doing. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like sometimes I'm focusing on mine and the chat, and I'm not paying like what he's just saying, not paying attention to the draft that is going on. It's a lot more about background noise and like getting some talk about football while you're doing it. And maybe you missed some news. Like there's so much news out there. It happens so often. It's very easy to miss. We're all here trying to make sure that things go well for us. Like most of us aren't trying to hide information from people. Like we're such a small group that like it doesn't really matter if the 20 people in my chat knows. Probably not. Like in the grand scheme of things, probably not. But it does help all of us. I don't have a job, so basically, very nice. Well, you had a good job today, and we all thank you. The community service stuff, that's pretty awesome. This is the kind of team I love Anthony Richardson on. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but man, like, this feels so good. Being able to take A Rich on a team like this. Like, I feel fine with Fields and Stroud, but Anthony Richardson's upside is insane. And if he happens to play during the fantasy playoffs, like if I get him to a finals and he's starting, like that is awesome. Like you have to be excited. Even if he doesn't play well all season, if you have him in a finals week, you know he has a chance to be maybe even RB1, but quarterback 1. Absolutely not. I'm more into helping and involving the game of fantasy football, making my opponents stronger. I'm all for that. Nice. Let's talk about AR. Right. Yeah. And iron sharpens iron, right? And if anybody in the community wins a contest, I'm happy, right? Like, as long as I'm not second, I'll be happy for them, and I'll probably be happy for me because second, is nothing to scoff at. So, are you guys in on QJ at this price? I am. QJ 185. Like, I still don't think he's going to lose his job to KLS. Maybe that concussion looked bad, but do we think he's going to miss multiple games in the regular season? Everybody's talking about how awesome KLS looks. Well, he's had a couple drops. Yes, he's in places and all that, but he's had some drops. And that's part of the game that coming into the league. And yes, I know Jamar Chase dropped a bunch of balls preseason, his rookie year. So it's not like that's something that it's an absolute thing that is going to be a problem for him either. Remember me saying how I like Dart as a better rookie this year? I think he starts earlier than we think. The problem with that is Russell Wilson looked awesome. He really looked good. People better hope I don't win because my streams would take no prisoners. I would not expect any less. I don't think they brought in Danny Dimes for no reason. I don't think Anthony Richards is going to start all 17. But the weeks he does, if he starts, I think he'll start 10-ish. And those 10 weeks, he has a chance to be quarterback one. That is something that is hard to argue is his ceiling outcome, right? His ceiling outcome is very, very high. I've been mixing in some Dameon Pierce. I think this team makes sense. We're going to take Pierce there. This is kind of a weaker tight end room, but I think I'm fine with it. For those of you who don't know the Palm, it is 3 of 12, 1 of 6, 1 of 6. So the weaker tight end room does kind of make some sense. The 1 of 6, 1 of 6, it'll be a lot easier to push through. Let's say you want to do if you're somebody who's into solo Bauer, solo McBride, this is the kind of contest that if you like that, it's easier to do because it's a lot easier to push them through a dud week, right? If you just get the right pod in a 1 of 6. I'd rather have Stafford or Dart. I understand that. But Danny Dimes, we'll be talking. So tomorrow, I'll be 2 hours earlier than usual. We'll be starting at 2 p.m. But myself and Steve will be going through all of the preseason games from week 2, and kind of last week it took 3 hours to recap because we went pretty deep. We're gonna try to clean it up and get through it a lot faster this time. Who knows if it actually happens? So I definitely want another RB here. I think Justice Hill kind of fits this team. We'll take Justice Hill. And what's up, Big Drafted Energy and Mark? Thank you both for popping in. All right, so the team, we got a 3-6-7-2. Justin Fields, Stroud, A. Rich. Running backs, Travion, RJ, Montgomery, Warren, Dameon Pierce, and Justice Hill. Wide receivers, Nico, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Golden, Hollywood, Kyle Williams, and Quentin Johnston. This is a weird wide receiver room. I will admit that. I'm not super worried on the QJ concussion stuff. I don't think he's going to like the fact that he's 40 picks later because they signed Keenan and then like who doesn't play the same role that QJ does. And then he had the concussion. Like now he's dropping. Like I haven't heard how bad it is, but concussions they can come back usually in 2 weeks. Like yes, it looked really bad, but there's a solid chance he just starts the season. When you're free, hop on for a superflex. Are you doing superflex today, or like I'm today? I'm actually gonna smash some Poms. If anybody wants, say something in chat. I'll run through your team real quick. If not, we could just jump into another Palm real quick. This contest is a 50 max, and it's going to feel fat. Like the last one of these they done, it filled in like 3 days. Oh, are you, when are you doing your 12-hour today or something? Like I'll jump over onto your channel once I'm done. I'm going to do one more Palm, and then I can get a hold of you if you are live right now or not, or sleaze. That's right, because Saturday, that like I might actually be able to do something Saturday. By the way, I'll talk to you about that later. Okay, so Quill wants a review. All right, we got 3672. Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Sam Darnold. Running backs: CMC, Kyron Williams, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, Braylon Allen, Kyle Manungai. Yeah, I really like this room. I've finally gotten to where I'm starting to take Kyron around ADP. I still don't like it, but I'm doing it some. Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, very solid. Braylon Allen and Manungai taking a shot. I like that. Wide receivers: AJ, Pickens, Sutton, Debo, Dobbs, Horton, Brown. So you got the double stack for with Tucker Kraft. Yeah, and Tucker Kraft Ertz is perfectly fine in the 106 advance. Aaron Sandy, Kyle, fun guy. So the whole Manungai stuff, the fun guy stuff, like for me, like I've played like Dungeons and Dragons and like games like that all the time. So whenever I hear fun guy, I always see like a mushroom, like a mycolid, if you know what a mycolid is. Like in my eyes, I see a mycolid. 3573. Josh Allen, Cam Ward, and Tua at 167. RBs: Bijan, Bucky, Pollard, Mixon at 95. I mix him in at around 100-ish, only because I was way overweight. The bet does feel a lot worse now. Like the news does not feel great that's been coming in. And Taj Brooks, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Higgins, Pittman, Keenan, Mims, Roman Wilson. I'm wanting to start mixing in Roman Wilson. I just never tend to do it. Chig, Otten, JT. Yeah, this is also a very solid team. I like it. All right, so we are going to go ahead. I don't think anybody else asked for a review. So we're jumping in another Palm, and we'll be entering in 10 seconds. Oh, I'll go back in and review yours here in just a second. So we are waiting on 4. The Palm 3. So Dr. the Professor, 2862. I've been building some 2.68 or 2.862s. I like them now. And I actually really like the 2.772s. Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, JT Pacheco, Tootin, Jaden Blue. This is very similar to the draft I just done. Tyler Algier, Will Shipley, Woody Marks, Ollie Gordon, but you have a lot more depth of running back, and I think mine needed more running back depth. Wide receivers: Lamb, Harrison, McLaurin, Devonta, Jennings, Burden. That feels a little thin for 6, but it can definitely work. And then Jake Ferguson, Theo Johnson. You got the bring back. No, this is a very strong team. Like I might have went 2.772, but this could definitely work. If Juwan Jennings is healthy week 1, that team is very, very good. The Palm 3. It was hiding between all my Palm 2 slows. All right, we got the 109, Steve at the 102, Dr. the Professor at the 105. That is it. So, were you for the Superflex? Did you want me to do one on my channel, or do you want me to let you know when I'm available to do one, and then you'll go? Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. As the master of communication, being an absolute master right here. Favorite is 2.693. Yeah. We're gonna randomly take an almond share here. I don't take a lot of almond, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. Got it. Yeah, I'll definitely let them know. I see so many people go 3 quarterbacks after taking Josh Lamar. I don't know. I think 3 quarter. So it protects. Like, let's say Josh Allen misses 3 weeks midseason, but Josh Allen ends up being the guy you need in week 17. Like, taking a third quarterback, number one, allows you to get rid of push through a stretch of bad weeks like that, right? Yeah, let's go Bowers. So, like, if Josh Allen got hurt for a couple weeks and then he comes back and then he's him because Josh Allen is him, like, that's the avenue. Now, I'm not saying you want all your Josh Allen teams to be 3 quarterbacks, but also there's a good chance that Josh Allen isn't like in the third quarterback allows you through in the 1 of 10 a lot more for this specific contest. With it being a 1 of 6, I do think the elites with only 2 quarterbacks make more sense. In like BBM where it's 1 of 13, 1 of 16, I think making sure you push your elite to week 17 is more important. And the third quarterback, to me, allows that to happen more often. Now, I'm not saying high capital on the 3, but like a third being Sam Darnold or Russell Wilson or Jackson Dart, like that to me makes sense. Yeah, like or anytime, like BBG and I on my stream, like Sam Darnold fell to pick 208, and we had an elite quarterback. So like, I mean, the Sims from the leg up tool doesn't seem to believe in that. Because they tend to believe that 3 quarterbacks is right a lot of the time. Speaking of Buffalo, I also think that their defense really, because they invested a lot into their defense. All right, so we got Amon-Ra. and we have Bowers. They were one of the worst in the league last year against the run. I know that. I think we're going to do something a little different here. We're going to just pull up Jaden Daniels, and then we're just going to take Terry McLaurin if he comes back around. I'm positive I don't have this in my portfolio. Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, McLaurin, Amon-Ra. And this definitely feels like something that could be something you would need, right? Like, do I think Amon-Ra has a chance to be wide receiver 1 overall for the season? No. That's why I'm lower on him. Do I think he could be wide receiver 1 in a single week? Absolutely. Yeah, they did invest a lot on defense, but I'm not as high as them. Schematically, they will always be bad against the run as long as their base defense is the big nickel formation. Yeah, that is true. The people they signed was to try to assist them against the run, not to be elite at it, but to be better against it. Washington, Buffalo, Carolina. Carolina was so bad against the run. Yeah, so we land the thing, we do the thing. Like, this is going to be not many people are forcing the Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stack anymore. Just because of, like, as soon if Terry McLaurin signs, like, he instantly comes back to the 3-4 turn, right? Like, we just start seeing the stack over and over again. Now, I know that some of the rumors is that he's like, they're not really close, but he doesn't really have leverage either. So, I mean, he could just not play and not make money. That's a choice he has. But yeah, he doesn't really have leverage. So now that doesn't mean Washington doesn't want to sign him long term either. You know. The brother from Chargers. You talking Bosa? I guess because I thought Bosa. Let me go look at our lads real quick to see if I can figure out who you're talking about. NFL depth chart. There we go. Yeah, Bosa. When you said brother from the Chargers, like, it's weird that, you know, I thought of Bosa because, you know, the fact that I like, we mind linked. It's like, no, the guy who has a brother in the NFL, you know. Yeah, Joey Bosa. Yep, he is on their team. That's exactly where my mind started, and I'm like, oh wait, I wonder if he means Nick Bosa. You know. Yeah, we'll take Chuba. That's why when he said brother, I paused for a second and, like, what is yeah, so yeah, I like Chuba. Like, he's such a good pick. Like, that offense is going to click. Bryce Young has looked fine. Like, I guess they didn't look as good this last week, but I'm honestly not that worried about that week. Week 1 DFS. I would have to look at the schedule. Who do they have? I should know this because of the eliminator chart I made. Um, Carolina played like I know I think week 2 Carolina plays do I double stack this? Yeah, I'm just gonna take Pearsall. He's such a I think he's a value. I do like the idea of the double stack, but I think he's just a value. Okay, so Walker plays San Francisco and Chuba plays Jacksonville. Man. That's close. I think I take Chuba because Walker has been missing practice. And if he's actually been hurt, like the chance of re-injury is a little higher. So I think they're pretty fair, like the same. If they're the same price, I probably go with Chuba. If Walker's a little cheaper, I probably take Walker. I think. I think both games could be shootouts. Like that Seattle offensive line looks really, really good right now. Like insanely good. And they do play like they at least last year they only really ran one running back most games. So what is your idea? Like I'm not a good DFS player. So we are 100% clear. I am not like a successful DFS player. You said you've picked 2 $1 million prizes, right? So I would take I'm curious what you think. Because I am not a master at all. Like I'm still pretty new to DFS, honestly. Like I do like maybe 40, 50 lineups a year, just kind of playing around with some small, like usually maybe a couple $10 ones. Like I don't do anything crazy. So having both the elites will make the rest of my roster a little different. I'll take Caleb Johnson if he makes it. If not, I'll just take Jordan Mason. We get a Caleb Johnson share there. Yes, sir. And multiple other contests. Very nice. So where do you lean? Because like I know Steve from Fanspeak Network, he's had a little success in not that success, but like a little bit of success in that. I was very close to splitting a what do they call it whenever it's just the single slate game, like the Monday night game, the showdown. The showdown where Tyrone Tracy went off. I had Tyrone Tracy. If the Giants didn't kick the field goal and they completed a single pass to anybody that wasn't Wan'Dale Robinson, that would have put me in first that week. So on that fourth or on that second, I think they kicked the field goal on like second down too. So that showdown, like that's the closest I've had to success. Yeah, I'll take Jaden Higgins here. And like I knew, like I could feel they were going to kick the field goal, because they had to score twice, so it made sense, but it sucked for me. But if I would have split that, it was going to be split 74 ways or something anyway. But that still would have been a nice chunk of change, you know. Playing Chuba with Jacksonville Onslaught. I honestly haven't really looked into it, but Chuba feels like week 1 against Jacksonville's defense could be a really good play. Um, for sure. Like, are you onslaughting with Hunter or are you doing the Diami Brown? Because I think for week one, I would go I'd probably go BTJ Britton Strange if I were to play the onslaught Jacksonville side. But to be honest, I probably don't play the Jacksonville onslaught from the passing game because I could see that being like a Tank Bigsby game, honestly. Like if Tank or ETN, whichever guy ends up getting the most carries, like I think it could be a game for them. Well, Walker and Chuba are priced almost the same on DK, so I was just curious where you was at. Got it. You were just kind of looking. Yeah, if they're priced the same, like I think they're kind of like I think they should be priced the same, honestly. Like so if you get some ownership projections, like I think you just lean whichever way is the lower one, right? I will absolutely, unquestionably take Brian Robinson here. Like he doesn't need to be on the Commanders for this to be a good pick. Like if he gets traded, absolutely. I'm going to take Brian Robinson in the 100s over and over again. Like if he gets traded, he's going to a team where he's going to have a role. If he doesn't get traded, like that's probably worst case scenario at this point with as much love that's coming for from him, right? For JCM. Like I'm surprised JCM didn't go before him at this point. Yes, London week one feels awesome because they play the Bucks, right? Is it the Bucks that they play? Yeah, I'm probably gonna fade BTJ week one. What's up, Lutz? Welcome to the draft and welcome to the chat. All right, so this Shaheed feels really good right here. Shaheed and Bateman. I've actually started clicking Mooney a little bit again. I think he's at a price that makes some sense. Yeah, Bijan over his receptions week one, receiving yards are my favorite week one bets before the game. Yeah, Bijan feels really good week one. Drake London feels really good week one. I mean, we could look it up right now. Like, and what site do you use? Are you talking about on Drafters for the parlays, or are you talking about straight betting on like DraftKings? So champions. So yeah, everybody's going to own Flacco probably. So this is week one underdog. 74 rushing yards, 21 and a half receiving yards. That does feel good. Longest rush, longest reception, 11.5. The Bucs defense is not great. 100 total yards. That feels like a smash. Like over under 100 total yards for Bijan. Where is his reception line? Why am I missing his reception line? It's apparently he doesn't have it on the underdog. So, okay, you use Bet365. Got it. Don't love his rushing yards, love the receptions, and love the receiving yards. 3.5 receptions. Yeah, that feels like a pretty solid over. Do you bet a lot of unders? Yeah, we'll take another share of Scattaboo at 129. Feels fine. We're just out here just vibing. We're just taking players, not worrying about it. I mean, maybe just taking a third CJ Stroud team. So, if you want to do, by the way, Big Draft Energy, if you want to do the Superflex after this draft, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll need like 5 to 10 minutes, and then I can pop over with you if you want, and we could do Superflex stuff. I'd be up for that. Hey, see you, Bink King. Sweet. Yeah, after this draft, it'll just take a few minutes, and then I'll be over there. All right, so all the quarterbacks go. I think I just we're just gonna take a second tight end there. We're gonna just hope that Gino makes it back to us. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Not that big of a deal. Good luck, everybody, and nice chatting with you. See you all in a bit. Yep, peace. It's been 2 hours of my slow draft protest at my league. Well, so I was supposed to be in a draft last night that the commissioner didn't start the draft till 30 minutes afterwards, and only one person attended the draft. Everyone autoed it, like mostly out of protest. It's like at the 10-minute point of them being late, everybody just logged out. It wasn't a league for money, so there was no reason to invest into it. But yeah, he showed up late and hit the start button, and I think he was the only one of the draft. But my team actually ended up pretty good. So I wasn't that upset about it. I didn't end up with any of the landmines. So that's good. I think on Sleeper it won't give you people on the pup. Because some of the players that were not drafted were pretty highly drafted people. Like I think Joe Mixon was undrafted. Maybe he just got dropped afterwards. I didn't really look at the draft, but yeah. Yeah. Dalton Kincaid was definitely a last-second swing. Over. Hey, if you're just popping in, please smash the like. We will finish this draft, and then I'll give you all a link. And in 5 to 10 minutes after that, I will be joining Big Draft Energy over on his channel on Drafters doing some Superflex. I would love Bryce Young all the way back. Do I want Bryce Young I actually think I don't. Like all the quarterbacks are still here. What RBs are left? I'm going to go ahead and just take Eckler first. And then we're fine with any of the RBs. Are you going to queue up at 6? I mean, I'm fine not queuing up. I could queue. I just need to run around through the house real quick, use the bathroom, get something else to drink, throw some stuff away. So I could pop into the draft, make a pick, go do that stuff, come back, and then jump on the channel too. I should be able to do that. Yeah, it won't take me that long. I said 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure, in case when I leave the room, some disaster happened. You know, you know how disasters happen. Doing the draft with you and someone. Are you talking like where you live? Absolutely, Geno Smith here. I'm glad I decided to push that. So the team right now for the audio listeners is 2552, Jade Daniels, Geno Smith, running backs, Chuba, Caleb Johnson, the swing on Brian Robinson and Scadaboo, Eckler to try to get him there, Amon, Terry, Ricky P, Jaden Higgins, Rashid, Shaheed, Bowers, and Kincaid. This is a 2-6-8-2 if I've ever seen one. I'm playing Fire with IBS. Oh, awesome. That's great. That's good information. I'm glad you shared Big Draft Energy. The community loves it. Loves hearing stuff like that. Yeah. I'm sure it's no fun, for sure. 268 who? Sharing is caring. Yeah, so let me know more about this, David. It wasn't an NFL player, right? It was like somebody locally, I assume. I just wear the pin so I don't miss a pick. Got the bucket. You could just have the bucket if you're an absolute degen. Yeah, we this chat has devolved. You're all welcome. That's what you come here for. I know. That's why everybody's here, to talk about depends and buckets. All right, so I don't take much Dylan Sampson, but if he is there at 177, thank you. I didn't want to take him, so I'm kind of glad he went. Adam Thielen, yeah, please. I've got down to 17% Adam Thielen. I think it was 16.5. I've basically stopped taking him because I had so much, and like I've started liking some of these late picks now, like Dante Thornton. QJ feels like a solid pick in this area. Horton's an awesome pick. Tillman's been falling today. I don't know why. Like, am I missing some news? Like, why when Joe Flacco gets named the starter does Tillman start falling? Oh, crap. Yeah. Hopefully everything ends up all right. I understand why Sampson's sliding, but I don't think he should slide that far. This kind of feels like a Keaton Mitchell team, doesn't it? I think this feels like a Keaton Mitchell team. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, he was probably going to end up being the RB2 anyway, which is why we were taking him with late round darts. But he's probably going to be ahead of Ford, and he's probably going to start the season. And like you said, Judkins hasn't signed yet. He's not been at a practice yet, so it may take him several weeks to get in. Like, even if Judkins is a late season hammer, like, Sampson will still have a role, because the only way Sampson doesn't have a role is if he gets the start and through the first 5 or 6 weeks, he's very bad. And if he's very bad, then Judkins has like zero worry when he comes in, and then he's dominant, right? But if Sampson comes in and looks fine, like he's going to keep some sort of a role no matter what. So to me, it's a lot harder. Like it would have been harder if Judkins started the season for Sampson to carve out a big role. But I think they could do the 1-2 punch thing pretty easily. Because if Sampson proves that he's fine, and as a prospect, he was a good prospect, like it doesn't make sense he's fallen that far. So for me, it never made sense that he went all the way up to 127-ish, or because he was going like 131, 132 a lot. I never thought that those prices made sense because I felt like Judkins was always going to play some this year. So, like, I didn't like chasing him up. I took him a couple of times up there, but I was always adamant about I don't like chasing him up. Now, if he's in the 150s, like, I think he's a good pick in the 150s. I don't think he should go after James or Jerome Ford. All right, so we need 2 more wide receivers here. I'll take Jack Besh. We'll take the stack. He played yesterday. We'll go over that tomorrow on Jack Besh's performance this past week. For those of you who don't know, tomorrow Steve-O Speak and I will be on my channel, 2 p.m. Central, and we're going to go game by game through the entirety of week 2 preseason. I think we kind of decided we're going to do that all season, and like basically Tuesdays all the way through the regular season, we're going to do every regular season game as well. That way we have some content amongst us for like to kind of prep for like daily stuff. Like we'll probably have a lot more numbers and stuff like that then. Steve-O. He's got that sweet tattoo. I bet Steve-O Speak has that same tattoo. We'll take Avante Turpin. He's been one of my favorite clicks since the big board. All right, so we got 2-6-8-2. Jaden Daniels, Geno Smith. Running backs, Chuba, Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson, Scadaboo, Eckler, Keaton Mitchell. Wide receivers, Almon, Terry, Ricky Pearsall, Jaden Higgins, Rashid Shaheed, Adam Thielen, Jack Besh, Kavonte Turpin. Tight ends, Brock Bowers and Dalton Kincaid. I think it's a very solid team. Yeah, Steve just confirming what we all knew. He has the same Steve-O tattoo on his back. But I will be live on this channel in about 5 minutes. Everybody head on over there. They go live in 1 minute. Type #WhoCrew as you go in. And I will see everybody there. Have a great day. See everybody 2 p.m. tomorrow. Peace.